Hey, it's Jeff Sauer here from jeffalytics.com, and this video is being released on a Sunday. And you know what that means? We're taking you behind the scenes in our operation here at Jeffalytics. Now, these are probably my favorite videos to create because it shows you exactly how our production process works, the way that we've developed a method of production that works for us, and how you could actually do this yourself if you had any interest in creating a video production. And today's video might be the one that encourages you the most to understand that you can do this yourself. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you my scripting ideation process, how I build content, how I build my videos here at Jeffalytics, and also the videos for our courses. So if you've taken any one of my online courses, this is the exact way that I build the content that you found in your courses. And also, it's not that hard. Well, it's not super easy to record everything, but the hardest part is to sit down and to map out your thoughts into something that's coherent. And I show you my exact strategy, my exact process for developing a coherent narrative throughout the course of a video. You have to have a beginning, you have to have a middle, you have to have an end. You have to think about what the user wants and how do you anticipate their needs. And then you need to put it all together and make it look good. And so I do that in today's video. All you need to do is watch along and you can see my exact process for how I've created about 99% of the videos that I've put on my YouTube channel and the videos that I put into my courses. So it's that easy. All you need to do is follow along to this scripting process and you can create your own video, or you can just get a cool inside look at how we create these courses here at Jeffalytics. Watch along and I hope you enjoy it. For this behind the scenes video, we're going to talk about how we build out our video scripts. Now this is the 22nd video in our series and you're probably wondering to yourself, how do we actually make these beautiful videos? What is the magic behind the scenes? Well, let me show you our process. And this is a pretty simple process that we've perfected over the years in creating our online courses and basically in all the things that we produce from a video standpoint. When I first got started, I wasn't really an expert in producing videos, but I had enough experience to be dangerous, and I found a format that really works for me. And I think that it works for many people, especially those who are concerned about their ability to create videos. Maybe you don't think you look good on camera. You can create some really good content without having to do much. Basically, you can just follow this simple process. So I'm going to show you exactly what we do to develop one of these videos and how we build out the script. The first thing you need to do is you need to decide on a video topic. Now, in our case, we have our Asana board with our 90-day, 90 ideas from the challenge. And so basically each time that I'm ready to record a video, which is often 2, 3, 4 videos in a single day that I'm recording, I basically say, okay, we're at number 22 now. We know when this is due. And Jeff, you need to create a video on building out the video script. Now, you saw Asana in video number 21, the video that we just released before this one, and you know that we love Asana for a lot of our planning items, and it's no exception here. Basically, Jeff, you need to build out a video script, and it's due today. You can see here that it's due today. We're doing these things many weeks in advance of when they'll actually be released, and that way our team has time to edit them and to perfect the post before we actually publish it. And so I need to take care of this. And you see the first task that I have is to develop a topic, develop materials, script, PowerPoint, etc. And that's actually what I'm doing in this video right here. As I actually just created materials about this video, about how I'm going to produce this video. And really my process starts with a blank slate and then I build a video outline. So I have a pretty good idea in my head as to what I'd talk about if I were to show you our building out of a video script, and I would create slides. And so the first thing you do is you create an outline as to all the things that you want to cover. Now this is something that you can build out in Word or some kind of text program. This is done, for us, it's done right inside of PowerPoint. And the reason why I do that is because I pretty much know what I want to talk about and I don't want to add another tool to the mix. And so that's how we do it here. We build out the outline and then you start to build out the samples and the graphics and you start to make it look like something that somebody would actually want to watch. You give it some kind of visual appeal. And you notice this script is actually the script for video number 17 where we talk about dashboards for SEO in Google Analytics. Now, if you look here, here's the template, and then we start to build it out. And I always start every single video with a slide master, which is basically a PowerPoint deck template that has different types of slides. There's one that you can put images on, there's big titles, there's little periodic table of Google Analytics elements on there. We have this master that just keeps everything looking uniform, keeps everything looking the same. and we've actually developed 4 different masters, one for each of our courses that we talk about. So you can see this is on the Jeffalytics master right here, but I'm showing you the analytics course master. And then we build out the slides to match the outline. So as you can see here, this is just the outline for video number 17, and there's graphics in there, there's titles, and it's really what's going to be in the video, the majority of it. And this is a big part of our process, basically putting together and anticipating the flow that needs to happen for you to go from why should I care about Google Analytics SEO dashboards or Google Analytics dashboards in general. What is I start with the bad news because that's something, something that's really annoying. There's not a clear answer for how you're going to do this. So I need to give you context as to why you should care, and then why there's not a simple solution. And then we talk about why I'm answering this right now, and that's because Zoe's the one who actually wrote this in. She's like, hey, I have this question, and so we wanted to answer that. And then we say, okay, well, some of these things we can show you in a screenshot, but there's other stuff that makes way more sense for me to go into Google Analytics and investigate. And that's where we see slide number 11. It's basically saying, hey, this is the point where I'm going to go into Google Analytics and see what happens. There's really no script at all for the times that we're in Google Analytics. We're just investigating what's happening in there, and that's as long as it needs to be, generally speaking. Then we get back into it, slide number 12 through the end. We basically say, here's our alternatives. It's just a little recap post that we can put together. Here's the options that we have for you, and just give some summaries there. Might even add links to these tools or put links inside of our YouTube notes or whatever we do. And then at the end, we have our calls to action. So that's really pretty much what a script is looking like as we develop these videos. And as you can see, it's mostly words, and a lot of the demo stuff, a lot of the screenshot stuff happens right within the browser. And we found that's one of the most efficient ways that we can produce videos, is by doing it that way. If we overdo it, if we over-engineer it, then I actually sound worse on camera, and the script sort of gets in the way. So we try to minimize that. But there is also a need for a script. And so finally, we do add in a script to our slides. Now here's an example of what it looks like when we have an ad lib piece in there. So you can see there's Zoe's question, and really the bottom is her exact question. So if I ever need to call upon the question that Zoe asked, or if I ever needed to look at it for more context, we basically just take an excerpt of the question and make it so that it would fit into the flow of the video. And then we have the full complement of her question below that, and this is just an excerpt from it. And that way, if I ever have questions or if I'm stalling, I can just go and get at the answer. But for the most part, most of our slides have no script at all. As I'm reading this video on the Jeffalytics template, I have no script whatsoever for this video because I just want to have it flow, and I just want to show you our process. And so a lot of times if I give you a very rigid process for how we do things, it's boring because it's so rigid and it's so stuck that I'm just reading it and I'm trying to get it word for word, and I stumble, and I try to make sure that the script matches perfectly. So for the most part, we don't have notes. But as we get more formal things, or things that are technical, things where we want to make sure we hit on all the points, we definitely do start to add up the script on those ones. So sometimes we have a script, sometimes we don't. It's actually easier for re-recording and for doing other things if we do have a script, but it doesn't seem nearly as natural. So I'd say about 25% of the time we put a script in there, and then the other 75% it's just me ad-libbing. And that can change on any given video. And then we're pretty much ready to record. Now, our recording tool for doing this is something called Camtasia. So this is just the recording piece. I basically record it at a pretty high resolution, so it's higher than 1080p. That way, if we need to crop things down, we have the option to do that. As you can see here, I select my microphone and I make sure I do like a little microphone check to make sure that the levels are right. We did have some problems with the microphone levels on a couple of these videos. I was too close to the microphone. So this is where this decibel check is really nice to have. And then we just make sure that we are set up. And so I have a little screen recording size based on the size of PowerPoint. So when PowerPoint goes into presenter mode, it's like the exact 2972 by 1668. And so that's what we do. That's how we get it to be basically a 1080p video every single time. And that's how we record and concept these things. Now, one video probably takes me about an hour to develop the outline, and then another hour or so to record it. So minimum, it's 2 hours to create one of these videos, one of these screen cam videos. That might be 5 to 10 minutes of video total. There's a lot of other things that go into it from an editing perspective. There's a lot more time that goes into these projects, the write-ups and stuff like that. Each 5 to 10 minute video probably takes a total of at least 10 hours when all is said and done, with all the people working on this on our team, and my portion's probably 2 hours of that. And so that's just how it goes. Now for the on-screen videos, we actually have a completely different process for doing these. It's mostly just me ad-libbing. There is some presentations in there, but it's basically me getting on screen and introducing what we're going to talk about in these screen cams. And then there's some other ones like the agency Sage videos. Those ones are a little bit more scripted. We want to make sure we hit on all the talking points there. So you're going to have to wait until next week if you want to see the on-camera video process. I'm going to show you a little bit of video behind the scenes of what my setup looks like, how we get things working. Going to do as much as I can to give you a cool view as to how our recording setup works here at Jefflytics Worldwide Headquarters. But you're going to have to wait until next week to see that. Now, I hope you enjoyed this behind the scenes video. I find it really fun to give you this peek behind the scenes because while some of you aren't interested at all about how to create these things, I think that video is becoming so much more prominent in our world, and people are asking for video and they're demanding it, that maybe video seems super mystifying to you, or something that you're like, I don't know if I really want to do video, or I don't know if I look good on camera, all those things. Well, I'm here to tell you that it's not that hard. It's really not that bad at all. You can create something, it can look pretty good. All you really need is the ability to capture on your screen, which is very inexpensive, and some kind of decent microphone. And then the rest, you can do all kinds of stuff. You can get more advanced as you do more of them, but that's all you need at a bare minimum. So shouldn't be an excuse. You can do videos. And my question for you is, are you going to create your own video now? It is super easy. I really want you to do that. And so if you're going to create a video and you're going to show me that you can do this, and you're going to show me that video is important to you as well, then what I want you to do is I want you to leave a comment on our YouTube video if you're watching this on YouTube, or I want you to leave a comment on our blog post that we have here on Jefflytics and say, Jeff, I'm going to create a video. And if you create that video, I'll take a look at it. If you publish it out to YouTube, I'll link to it or do some kind of tweet to it or something like that, and I'll let you know that we saw it and give you some encouragement to get started. Because it took me about 3 or 4 years of waiting on the sidelines, deciding if I wanted to do this or not before I produced my first video. And now it's like my job. I produce videos, I create concepts, I educate people online, I do all these things. And so I'm glad that I started doing it when I did, because now I have 4 years under my belt of creating what I consider to be pretty awesome videos, sharing with people, educating, and it's really paid off for me. So hopefully you can get the encouragement here from watching this video, see our dead simple process for doing this. It was this process that made me decide that this is something we can do frequently. This is something we can do 90 days worth. We can do it in a 90-day challenge. And so hopefully you get the same idea as well. And remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel for updates. You can get updates on every single video we post. We'll be coming at you with another video tomorrow, and next week you're going to get a behind-the-scenes look at how I record these things, the actual on-camera stuff that I do in my little studio here. All right, thanks for listening, and I'll talk to you soon.